Taking an honest look at civic leadership in the city and challenging how inclusive it is.
News 8's Alexis Rogers sits down with Leadership Indianapolis to get a look at how leadership and community make a difference. In tonight's We Stand Together.
Whether it's day or night, leading Indianapolis is a full-time job. It takes a team. Leadership Indianapolis is on a mission, serving as a cultural bridge between communities and organizational and business leadership from top to bottom.
I can't breathe!
Having tough conversations in hopes of brighter futures and better outcomes. A task that came when they least expected.
How does all of the civil unrest that we are seeing every single day, how does that impact leadership all throughout Indianapolis?
We did a series earlier in the spring that was mental health care for civic leaders. And it happened that, as soon as we started was at the same time that a lot of civil unrest happened. And we were entering to it thinking that we were mainly going to talk about COVID and its effects on our community. Then we ended up talking about all of this civil unrest because during those weeks is when, George Floyd happened. It's when Ahmaud Arbery happened. It's when Drajon Reed happened here in Indianapolis. So we ended up having to talk about all of that because we understand that, we don't work in a vacuum. We have the civil unrest, we have, coronavirus and all of the different ways that it's impacted our collective community. So we absolutely talk about that because it's a part of the work we do. All of these nonprofit organizations and different leaders around the city have been forced to become nimble and try to adapt to the changing times. So we want to make sure that the conversations and the programs that we're offering are helping to equip them for that work.
When it comes to what you all do here in the city, break that down to me as far as your vision for Indianapolis.
Yes, so our vision at Leadership Indianapolis is to make sure that the leadership landscape of the city is multicultural, it's collaborative, and it's multi-generational, because we know that that's when it's best. When you have voices from different places, you have people from different backgrounds coming together to inform what our organizations look like. So that is our primary focus. The civil unrest affects leadership in so many different ways. You can take someone like me, for example. I'm a leader, but I'm also a Black woman. So I can't show up to work without having on my mind the different atrocities that affect Black people every single day. I'm not unique in that. A lot of our leaders go through that. In addition, we are going out and serving communities that are living with these things every day. So if you don't have a certain level of compassion or a certain level of understanding to what's going on, there's a complete disconnect, and it makes our city not the best that it could possibly be.
Are most boards diverse in Indianapolis?
Board diversity is an increasing issue here in the city of Indianapolis and across the country, frankly. There have been studies that show, that a lot of our nonprofits that serve mainly communities of color, their boards don't reflect what the community looks like. So one of the things that we've been very intentional about is not just playing matchmaker with nonprofit organizations and putting them with a person of color or a queer person or anything just for the face and the superficiality of it, but more so helping them to be very intentional about the type of person that they want to have, what that person will do when they join their organization, and how to set that person up for success to help, further the mission and the values of that organization moving forward. So that's a big conversation that we've been having with people recently.
Some people might watch this and say, well, that's all well and good, but how does that impact me in my neighborhood?
There is absolutely a direct correlation. So for people that are watching this and maybe think, I'm not a leader, you certainly are. We all are leaders in different ways. So in your community, on your block, in your home, you have an opportunity to really stand up and be a leader and affect change. So we want to bring all of those different people to the table by helping them to explore what their passions are, by helping them to understand what the future of Indianapolis looks like for them, what things they want to see change, and give them the tools and the information and the relationships to really see that come to fruition.
In 2020, has the idea of responsibility, or the idea of whose responsibility is it, has that been reimagined?
I think in 2020 it has certainly been reimagined. We see week after week people step up in incredible ways, in ways that they probably never thought they were capable of stepping up. But that's exactly what it's going to take. We unfortunately do not have we don't have the ability to just sit and wait for change to happen on its own. We don't have the ability to just sit and wait for somebody to swoop in with a cape and to save us. It is up to each of us as individuals to really explore the ways in which we can help be the change we want to see. So that is what we're trying to do here at Leadership Indianapolis.
Our We Stand Together series will continue next week on News 8 at 10.
And remember, you can see all of our profiles online at wishtv.com.